hopefully we can take debit payments. Halfway through the market, it stopped working. So that brings the total for this market to Hey guys, today is going to be a market vlog. I'm really excited to take you guys with me to this market. It may or may not have been the best market I've ever done, so I'm really excited to bring you guys with me and go through everything that's sold and how much money we made. So let's just get right into the market vlog. Hey guys, I've been kind of too busy this morning to chat, but we are getting ready to leave now for the market. We have to be there at 8:30, like by 8:30, but it doesn't open until 10. I don't know why. I'm excited and hoping my day 2 hair works for me because it's not looking great. Guys, my hair got absolutely ruined in this wind and humidity. Look at how frizzy it is, you know, so great. I did bring a crochet sweater to wear, this one, but it's too cold, so I'm gonna put it on later if it gets hot. But today we're just wearing this and I will take some more clips actually and put them before this of the booth because I don't think I took videos, I should have pictured. But my mom did take some clips of me setting up, just not of the final display. So it's kind of a long setup, but we're set up now and it's like 9:20.
We probably finished at like 9.
Yeah, we had to move our tent and our tables though, like mid setup because the person beside us wasn't coming. So we thought it would be good to kind of make there be less of a huge gap, especially since both us and the person beside us have side tables. So it's nice to have space to walk through. And yeah, that's pretty much all the updates. Today we are at the Pride Festival in our town. We paid $30 to be here. We've done this market 4 years in a row, so it's always a good day for us, and I'm hoping today is the same. It's at a new location, which is interesting. We don't know how that's gonna go, but the good news is the weather looks better than it did during the week. I mentioned in my market prep vlog that it literally looked like it was going to downpour, and now it downpoured like all night, but
Sure did.
it's not too bad. It's just really like humid and like
windy.
yeah, but you know, that's okay because it's better than rain, and we're pretty cold, but I'm hoping it will warm up. The sun was out and it was fine, but
The sun came up for half a second and it was so nice, like so warm. So if it comes out, we're gonna be fine.
it's still really early too. It's like 9:20, so
Yeah, no wonder it's cold.
yeah, but it's looking pretty good. We also decided to swap the placement of our side table because usually we put it on Fiona's side, but today we put it on mine because that's where traffic is coming from that way, so we put it on this side. And yeah, I'm hoping it's good. The one thing that we have run into this morning is that we didn't have service or Wi-Fi, so we couldn't get into our Square accounts or like take any sort of e-transfers or anything, which was very stressful. But I think it's gonna work. Like, we're hoping it works because now we're getting like messages and everything, so I think it's back, but it's not great up here, which makes sense because we're close to the beach and the beach has no service. So yeah, but hopefully we can take debit payments because we really need to be able to do that. But I'll stop yapping now and I'm gonna take clips of the display, but we still have like 40 minutes until it starts. So yeah. Hey guys, it's almost been an hour of it being open. Made one sale.
I made 0.
Hopefully it will get busier, but we're freezing, so it's fun now. Hey guys, I can't believe my hair used to be curly. Oh my god. It's now almost 12 and we definitely sold more than one thing, so that's good. It's going pretty good, but you know, it's only hour 2, so we'll update you in another hour. It's been fun and selling some new stuff, which is nice.
And some old
I
stuff.
see that my gnomes have fallen, so I gotta go fix that. Hey guys, it's really loud copyright music, so hopefully I can use this, but I just want to say it's still going good, and it's almost 1 o'clock. I accidentally just took a picture of myself. It's really gross. It's now 2 o'clock. Going pretty good, but not as good as the past, so that's a little sad. But it's still going good, so that's nice. And I don't know much else to say. Hey guys, it's now 3. I got these cute sunglasses and a new pin, so it's great. It's time for the breakdown of the market now. I have everything we sold in this notebook. I've been using this notebook for like 5 years, but I'm going to do a little recap of the market and how it went, and then we're going to break down all the sales that I made at the market, and then we will get into how much money we made total and bestsellers. So let's just get right into it with talking a little bit about the market. So this market was a Pride festival. We do this market every year. This is our 4th year doing it, and it's the 4th year that it has run in our town. This year it was at a new location. So usually we're at a location with another market going at the same time, and it's a weekly market. So that gets a lot of traffic, and it's also just like the downtown area of the town. So it gets a lot of natural traffic. So I was a little worried about the turnout not being as large as it was in the past, and I do have to say I don't think it was as busy as it has been in the past, but it was really nice to be able to have our own space, and I really liked the setup of it. I thought they did a good job with it. So it wasn't like crazy not busy or anything. It was very busy, but I do think the natural traffic in the past like has made it look and feel a lot more busy. So I just wanted to kind of note that. But the market ran from 10 to 4, which was another change from previous years. Usually it was from 9 to 5 or even 8 to 5, I feel it was one year. So it was much shorter, only 6 hours. We did have to get there at 8:30 though, like by 8:30. So we were there by like 8:15. And it did take us a while to set up, but we were probably done by like 9:15ish. So we had about 45 minutes where there was like no traffic really, but then also we were fully ready. So there was a few people walking by and stuff, but I don't think we made our first sale until it was actually open at 10. The booth fee was $30. So split between Fiona and I, that is $15 each, so not bad at all. But since it was like 2 hours shorter than it had been in the past, I was kind of like, oh, I hope it's still really good because we're technically paying the exact same amount for fewer hours. And then getting into kind of the weather as well, I mentioned in my market prep vlog that I thought it was going to be hot. It was not hot. It was very cold. Me and Fiona had a blanket. We were both in the blanket and it was freezing for like the first probably 3 hours, and then after that it was okay. It was really nice actually, and I was worried it was going to rain. I talked about that in a past video as well, that it looked like it was going to literally downpour, but it kind of hit the day before and it was raining really bad the whole day and night before, but it didn't really rain at all that day, so that was really amazing. There was one issue that I also think was due to the location as well, because it's close to the beach and the beach has like no cell service. And you may think that's not really an issue, but it definitely was, because we were taking Square payments on our phones. So at the beginning of the day we were freaking out because we couldn't get text messages, we couldn't open the Square app. It was really scary because like we literally would have only been able to accept cash, because I don't even think e-transfer would have worked because we weren't getting emails or texts or anything. So it was kind of scary. Some other people were also having the issue. I don't know about vendors having the issue, but customers did say they were having issues, and like my parents couldn't get on either. So I don't know what the problem was, but it was like kind of stressful. We did end up getting it working, but then about halfway through the market it stopped working, and this was only our second time taking Square payments ever at a market, and so it was kind of like a disappointing experience because it was so difficult to get the Square payments to go through. We had to chase people down multiple times because their payment declined, which obviously you should definitely make them stay until the payment goes through. I learned that the hard way. But the one person, I think it was because I closed my phone too quickly. Like, I thought it had worked and then I closed my phone, but then when I opened it back up, it said it had declined. So she was really nice about it and it was easy. But then the other ones, like, they weren't going through. So some people were really nice and they paid with cash, but we did miss out on a couple of sales because they didn't have any other form of payment and we couldn't get our Square to work. So that was really sad, but every payment that I did take did end up going through and I didn't have any issues with that. So I'm happy about that. But it was like really stressful and that was the only like negative part of the day, I would say. So in the future, if they ask for feedback or anything, I might tell them, if you can, don't do it at that location again. Even though I liked the location, it's just too scary and stressful to not be able to take the Square payments. So I just wanted to mention that because I was kind of worried about that. I might have even mentioned it in one of my market prep vlogs because I knew it was so close to the beach. And I was definitely right to be nervous because it did not work. Luckily though, it actually did work some of the time. Just on and off, it would randomly stop. Especially if we left the app and then tried to go back in, it would not load. So it was very stressful, but I'm very glad that it worked some of the time and we were able to still take debit and credit payments. Getting into kind of how sales were, usually at this market, the sales are quite steady. It never got like crazy busy, but it was usually very steady and there was never big like gaps where there was no sales. This year was a little bit different. We found maybe in the first hour, we only got like one sale. I think I mentioned that. And then there would be random like bursts of like really busy, like multiple people at our booth. We're taking 2 different payments, me and Fiona, and then nobody again for like a long time. I think that was to do with the drag show and the stage. Like the drag show was on the stage, and in the past we talked about the drag show kind of taking away all the traffic, which is okay, but this year the stage is even further than it was in past years. Like in the past years the stage is right there, so even if people are like kind of looking at the stage, they're still kind of in the market. But this year they were not, like you had to walk all the way over to the stage. So we found when the drag shows were on, like there was kind of nobody shopping or like very few people shopping. So I feel like those were the slower times, probably around like 12 and then again like at the very end, like maybe at like 3. So that kind of sucked, but also when we did get those like big bursts of people, that kind of made up for it. So it wasn't too bad, but it was just a little different than in past years. But now let's get into the breakdown of everything that I sold at this market. And keep in mind that Fiona also did make sales at this market. She asked me not to tell you guys how much money she made, so I'll keep that private. Maybe I'll give a rough outline of how much we made combined at the end, because I do think it's important to kind of share how much one business can make realistically at a market like this. So I like to share that because I'm not the only one making sales, but I am just going to be sharing what I sold, and let's just get right into it. The sales aren't going to be in order this time because I'm going to do cash sales first and then debit sales after. We made a few more cash sales at this market than debit sales, which was the opposite of the last market we did. The last market was mainly debit sales with a couple cash sales. So I'm glad we still had a good float because a lot of people did bring cash to this market, and I really preferred that because we make more money, and also I just feel like it's nice that people like know they're going to be shopping at a market, so they bring cash, you know? But the first thing that I sold in cash was a sunflower keychain for $6. Moved over a bit so you guys can see it. But this is my pattern. I have a free tutorial and I have a written pattern coming out very soon for this one. If it's not out already, it will be within the next day or two because I'm working on it right now. These do typically sell very well for me, and I think I only had one at this market because I didn't have a lot of time to prep keychains this year, but I was super happy to sell this one. And then the next thing that sold was a starfish. This was my smaller size of starfish. I just used a 6mm instead of an 8mm. And this is also my pattern. I did a 10 weeks of market tutorials series here on the channel, so a lot of these will be from that. The sunflower keychain is just one of my tutorials, but the starfish is from my 10 weeks of market tutorials. And I was really happy to sell the starfish. I thought it was so cute, so I'm glad this person did too. And it was $20. And I think with that starfish, I also sold a watermelon keychain. So this is also my pattern. I have a written pattern and video tutorial, and this one also sells very well, and I crocheted these watermelons literally the night before, so I was really glad that I did that because it definitely paid off. So that total sale was $26. And then the next thing I sold was a tiny turtle for $8. I'm not sure the colors of what sold because I don't record that, so sorry about that. But this pattern is linked in my 2026 market patterns and tutorials document. It's not my pattern, but I tried it for the first time this year and I really loved it. The next thing that sold was a leggy frog. I actually sold a good amount of leggy frogs this year, which was really nice because last year I didn't sell very many of them, but this year I sold a lot of them, so that was great. And that was $10. The next thing I sold was a cat. This was a loaf cat, but it was made with acrylic yarn and it was smaller than my other loaf cats, and I made this one a few years ago. And it was this girl and she was looking for a loaf cat, but she didn't want to spend $22 on like the full-sized one, so she found a little one in our little 3-tiered shelf and she bought it for $14, so that was really great. The next thing that sold was my possum for $15. This is Crochet by Jenna's possum pattern. It's no sew. I really like it, but I didn't make any more this year, and I wish I did because people were asking me if I had more of them and I didn't. I sold it quite quickly, so I definitely should have made more, and I'm gonna keep that in mind for the future. Next up, a higher priced item which I was super glad sold was a dragon for $45. This one I think was the green one or the blue one. I think it was the blue one that I already had from my last market that didn't sell. But at the last market I brought 2 of these and one of them sold, and then at this market I brought 4 of them and 3 of them sold. And Fiona also brought multiple of these and they also sold really well for her, so I highly recommend this pattern for markets. It is Crochet by Jenna's No Sew Dragon and I love it. And then the next thing I sold was 2 mini whales, and I sell mini whales, stress balls, and mini octopi for $6 each or 2 for $10. So since the person bought 2 whales, it was $10. The whales were also a new pattern for me this year. It is by Crochet Customs and it's a free video tutorial here on YouTube, and I absolutely love it and highly recommend trying it out. And then the next thing I sold was a mini octo for $6. I have a free video tutorial here on the channel for this. This has been a market bestseller for us for years and years, so highly recommend. And then next up we sold another dragon. I think this was the green one, and it was $45 again, so that was another higher priced sale we made, and I was so happy that these dragons were selling well. I had a feeling they were gonna sell well, and I think I mentioned that in market prep video, and I also mentioned it to Fiona at the start of the market, and she's like, really, you think they're gonna sell? I'm like, yeah, I just have a feeling people are gonna like them at this market, and they really did, so that was amazing. I'm trying to think what the third one that I sold was. Is it even on here? Did I even sell a third one? Wait, maybe I didn't sell a third one. I didn't sell a third one. I only sold 2. Okay, actually I only sold 2 dragons because I don't know why I thought I sold 3, but I have 2 left over and I had 4, so that means I sold 2. But next up was a mallard duck for $16. I think that was a combined sale with the dragon, so that was amazing. And I had 2 mallards left over from last year and they both sold, and I definitely should have made more of those. So they're gonna be on my list for making more in the future, definitely, because that is a really good seller for me, and that whole pattern is a good seller for me. It is like a chick/duck pattern and it's linked in my document. The next thing that we sold in cash was a axolotl for $20. This was a yellow axolotl and I've had it with me for quite a while, so I was super happy to have that one sell. This is Crochet by Jenna's No Sew Axolotl. I love it. And then I also sold a chicken for $15. I've had these chickens for 1 or 2 summers now, and I had one of them sell, and me and Fiona both had some chickens, and so it was really cute to have those in a display together, and I was happy one of them sold. And then the next thing I sold was a jellyfish for $15. I definitely sold a green and a purple jellyfish, so I guess those are good colors to make, but this is my pattern. It is a no sew jellyfish. I do have an older tutorial for it, but it's not no sew, and then I just came out with a updated tutorial for it during our 10 weeks at market tutorials, and I also have a written pattern available on my Etsy now, so that's amazing, and I highly recommend trying this one if you never have, because they whip up super quick and they've sold well for me for years and years and years, so highly recommend. The next thing that I sold was 2 more mini whales for $10, since there was 2 of them, and then I also sold a puff flower claw clip for $15. These are so cute. It's Blondie Knots puff flower claw clip pattern. I really love these. And then I also sold a triceratops. This was a sparkly purple triceratops based off of my memory for $16, so that was really great. These ones have been a bestseller for us for years as well. It's not my pattern, but it'll be linked, and they didn't sell as well for us this year, I think because we usually put them on the very front of the table in a row. This year they were a little more like in the back. So I think that probably contributed to that, but still they're really great sellers and I highly recommend trying the pattern because it's so quick and easy to make. And then I also sold a mini octo for $6. I have a few more cash sales. So the first one is going to be a mini whale. It was just one mini whale for $6, and then a scrunchie for $4. This was a light pink scrunchie and it is my pattern as well. There is a free updated video tutorial here on my channel that I did during the 10 weeks of market tutorials, and then I also have a written pattern on my Etsy. I don't know why I literally skipped over a lot of cash sales, but I'm gonna continue. The next one is going to be a turtle for $20, and this is my no-sew turtle. I have a video tutorial here on the channel from the 10 weeks of market tutorials, and I also have a written pattern if you're interested. I don't mean to keep plugging all these things, but I just make mostly my own patterns, and so if you guys are interested in them, I'm gonna link them for you guys. But I do sell these for $20, and it was a strawberry one that I made last year, so that was so cute and I was really happy to have that one sell. And then the next thing that I sold was a bee for $14. It was a smaller bee, and this is also my pattern. I have a video tutorial and written pattern again, and bees sold extremely well for me this year, so I highly recommend checking that pattern out. It's no sew, very easy, so highly recommend. And then I'm just gonna go through the ones that I missed for some reason. I sold a cow and a jellyfish together for $35. The cow was a fluffy cow I made a while ago. It was so cute. I was obsessed with those cows. I almost kept one of them for myself, but I didn't. And one of them sold for $20, and then the jellyfish also sold with that for $15, so it was $35. And I think that's the only one I missed. So now let's move on to the debit sales. And by debit, I just mean Square. So the first thing that we sold on Square was a loaf cat for $22. I know I sold a calico loaf cat. I think that was this one, and then I also sold a tuxedo one. I don't know what other one sold. Maybe the gray and white one? Yeah. So those were a great seller and I was really happy about that. But this one was the calico one for $22. And then I sold another bee, another one of my patterns, for $14. And then I sold a leggy frog for $10. I sold mostly green of the leggy frogs. They're just different shades of green, but then I also did sell an orange one. So I don't know which sale was the orange one, but that was really great to have that one sell as well. And then I sold a mini octo for $6. For some reason at this market, I don't know exactly what colors sold of the mini octos, but I know blue and purple sold really well. I kept having to go find more blue ones and purple ones. So I guess make that color if you're gonna make these. And then the next thing that I sold was a lip balm keychain for $8. So this is my pattern. I have a free video tutorial here on the channel from the 10 weeks of market tutorials, and this was my larger size keychain. So I do the top shelf $6, and then I do the bottom shelf $8. So this one was an $8 sale, and I was really happy to sell one of those. And then the next thing that I sold was a loaf cap for $22. And then while I was gone walking around the festival and I was getting some free stickers and stuff, Fiona sold one of my bees for me. So I guess this was on her square, but I balanced it out in the end, so don't worry about that, for $14. And one of these small bees that I sold was a purple velvet bee. So that was, I guess it was still technically my pattern, but it's not the exact same pattern as the written pattern and the video tutorial that I have available to you guys, just because it was velvet yarn, so you need to do more rows. But I've had the purple one for a very long time, so I was super happy to have that one sell as well. And then the next thing that I sold was a stress ball, but this was a 2 for $10 deal with one of Fiona's stress balls, so it was $5 to each of us. This was actually to the mayor of our town, and so that was really fun. And this is my tutorial here on the channel, and I'm also coming out with a written pattern soon, so stay tuned for that. But these are also a market bestseller for us, so I highly recommend checking that tutorial out. And then the last few sales here, we have a scrunchie for $4. This was another pink one, I think. The light pink sold really good this time, and this is my pattern as well. And then I have a tiny turtle for $8. And then I sold a medium dinosaur. I've had these forever. I have 2 small ones and a big one, and they never have sold, but this one sold this year. I was really happy about that, and it was $14. And then I sold another mallard, so for $16. So both of them were gone, and I definitely have to make more of those now. I sold 2 more mini wheels for $10, a large bee for $22. I don't have a tutorial up for this one yet, but I'm planning on doing that, and also a written pattern, and then I'll combine it with the smaller one as well for a little bundle for you guys. But the big ones also sell really well for me, so I want to offer that to you guys as well. But yeah, this was a bigger version of my bee. And then the last few things I sold were a flower bouquet for $25. I was so glad that one of my mini bouquets sold. I always love when my flowers sell, so that was really nice. And then I also sold a love cap for $22. Fiona and I also got $4 in tips, so I was really grateful for that. So we split that $2 each. And that is all my sales from this market. Vidia's playing with her toy. In terms of bestsellers, I was gonna do like first, second, and third, but there was like a clear winner, and then there was like a whole bunch of second place. So tied for second place is Tiny Turtles. I sold 3 of them. Fiona also sold a few of those. 3 small bees and 3 mini octos. And then our number 1 seller of this market was definitely mini whales. So I highly recommend trying out that pattern, and I'm really glad that I did. I didn't even plan on making those, but it was kind of a last minute decision, and they sold really well at both this market and my past market, so highly recommend. But yeah, it's mostly smaller stuff, I guess, at this market, because the whales were $6 and 2 for $10. The tiny turtles were $8. These small bees were $14, so that's a bit more, but still kind of small. And then the mini octos were also 6 each, or 2 for $10. Those were my best sellers. And now let's get into how much money we made in total. So in cash sales, we made more cash sales than Square, as I mentioned. We made $377, so I was really happy about that. And then in Square, we made $222. So that brings the total for this market to $599. And with the tip, that leaves us with $601 for this market. And that's my best market I have ever done. Coming home from this market, I was actually feeling a little bit disappointed, like driving home, because I just felt like I definitely had not exceeded past years in terms of sales and how much money I made, and I just felt a little bit disappointed in the day. It wasn't like it was a bad day, it was a really good day, but I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't as good as it was in the past maybe. But I was super happy to see that I actually did do really well at this market, in my opinion, and I was super happy to have surpassed past years at this market as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with that total. And if you want me to subtract the booth fee, I will. So minus $15, it would be $586. And then I also believe that the Square fees for this market were again only like $2.50. So that was not bad at all. And I'm really glad I tried out Square this year, because I've been very hesitant to do that in the past, but it went really well, aside from like the hiccups we had with the data and service there. But other than that, I would highly recommend trying that out. And then I'll just give you guys a rough outline of how much me and Fiona sold combined, just because we are one business. We do keep all our own money for our own sales. We don't like split it in half or anything, but I do want to tell you guys, just in case you're going to a market with like, I would say just over $3,000 worth of inventory, we sold over $800 worth of products. So that's really amazing. I really hope you guys enjoyed coming to this market with me and seeing everything that's sold and the breakdown. I really enjoyed bringing you guys along with me, and these are my favorite videos to make, so I'm just really glad that you're here and that we got to do this market together. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to see more videos like this one. I do plan on doing more markets this year, so I'm really excited to take you guys with me on those and market prepping for them and everything. So stay tuned for all of that, and don't forget to check out my Etsy shop for written patterns or any of the free tutorials here on YouTube that I mentioned in this video. I also have been posting on Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to see what I'm up to over there, it'll be linked on my link tree. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!